thirsty. Good little smoke here.
There we go. All right, it's your show.
We gotta have our little smoke going on beforehand. Yeah, no. So what do you think about that stuff? Did you try that new one yet?
No, I'm good right now. I got to work tonight, so I
got a show going on later tonight.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So yeah, no, I have to maintain some kind of mental state when I do trivia.
Oh yeah, that would track. So
Yeah.
So all right. Well, welcome everybody. This is Cannabis, Nature's Recovery, and we are here with Mick Talbot.
Hello.
And so we are here to talk about cannabis and how it affects your life and how it can be used to help your life, and the fact that it can be utilized as a recovery tool in many different ways. And that would include, like mental issues, physical ailments, and I've found it, and even also can help you, I believe, is a great crutch and aid, depending what you want to say, to help, perhaps get people sober up off of harder drugs or other substances. It can help, I feel, just help bring a lot of center and back into your life, and help you just live a better life. So that being said, I mean, there's a lot of great benefits from this plant that God gave us to heal ourselves and to help us out. Because I mean, I'm not trying to get biblical here, but everything that was given was to help man, benefit man. So enough about that. So we're here with Mick, and so yeah, how do you feel about that?
Oh, I feel that cannabis is definitely nature's medicine. I am a recovering alcoholic that uses cannabis to center myself and keep me maintained. I have no cravings for alcohol. I haven't had alcohol since before COVID, and but I use THC at night to help me wind down after a long day. I'm one of those people that my brain won't shut off
Right.
at night, so I use it as a stimulant to help me focus my attention. I also use music at the same time. I use them both as more of a therapy than I do anything.
Yeah, great combination.
I'll lay back in my lazy boy and I'll try to find a Zen center where the music and the chair have wrapped around me in the chair, and I'm motionless, but all the music is just piercing through my body and I feel every inch of it. Once I hit that point, everything past that is moot. Yeah. Everything else is just music. Usually takes about 5 or 6 songs before I really get into a good center, and then when I find that spot, that's usually time for bed. I'll listen to one more song just to kind of wind down, go upstairs, go right into the bed. Within half hour, I'm out cold. No running through the brain shit. So I appreciate it for that, and I like the effects of it as well. I like the fact that if I take a sativa hit, I'm going to clean the whole goddamn house.
Yep.
Then if I hit the indica, I'm ready for bed as soon as I hit it. So the different strains, I'm anxious to try the hybrid now because I've never really had the hybrid before. So we'll see how that does for me. But yeah, I'm glad that you're here to talk about it. And and to help maybe explain to people that don't realize the benefits um, medically that marijuana, THC, and everything, not only, let's not even talk about the hemp side of things. I mean, that's a whole nother project right there where the world could be run with hemp, but the people above are not going to allow the oil industry to go away or the lumber industry to go away.
Yeah, so, that damn man.
The man. So tell us more about some of the benefits of THC, or go into whatever.
Well, no. I was just going to say. So it sounds like you're using more of a. It's a mental well-being part for you. Helps you get and a sleep aid. Because it's like you said, it's medicine.
I use it as medicine,
and it is now recognized as medicine, and that was a long fight in its own just to get it recognized as medicine, because I'm not going to try to quote the exact number here, but I mean, we have, I'm not even going to try to ballpark it, but hundreds, how many cannabinoids that we have built into our bodies. You know what I mean? Like it's meant to intake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if that wasn't there, that just proves that it's medicine, and you're supposed to have it, and it helps benefit.
Sure.
Like for me, for example, like I have a broken spine. It's just something I was born with, dealt with all my life. And honestly, that's why I even got into it, was to try to deal with this unbearable back pain that no doctors believed I had. You know what I mean? So sure. I wasn't getting help from that avenue.
Yeah.
So I essentially had a buddy of mine was like, hey, try this. Like, I didn't smoke nothing. Like, I was little button up at the time type of, just how I was. I tried it, and it made a difference. Like, that's what I noticed, is it numbed down my back, and I was, hey, hell yeah. There's much better route in my mind than getting addicted on opioids. And we could go down for miles down that rabbit hole with the opioid epidemic and all of that. But for me, my personal reasoning was the, I watched a lot of family members that were on pills for pain. And they probably left this earth a little too early.
Oh, absolutely.
Due to years of being fed poison. Exactly.
Poison. It's
no, you're right.
What it is. It's
so
poison.
All right. Let's get back into you here.
Yeah.
You're the guest. Let's focus on you. So tell me, like, what really turned you towards cannabis? Like, what was the thing? Like you said, you're recovering. You used to be an alcoholic. So what was it for you that was like, I'm gonna smoke weed and get away from the alcohol?
Well, my dad was a pot smoker in the 70s and 80s and 90s, so I grew up with it in the house. I never smoked it until I was a teenager. It's kind of a nerd. So I really didn't have a lot of friends. We moved every year, so I never had like that stable household where you stayed somewhere. So I was kind of a loner, so I never really did anything until my first time smoking weed. I was probably 17.
Same.
And I was going out to a teen night club with my best friend and his dad. and him and his dad were smoking a joint in the front seat, and he handed it back to me. And I mean, I knew what it was because my dad smoked it. Mm-hmm. So I figured, wow, what the fuck? You know, I'm going out, I'm not driving. So I hit it, gave it back, a couple of times. And yeah, I was high as fuck. Remember the Half-Baked movie?
Okay.
I was that high. I was ready to
raid the store.
Yeah. So we got to the club. I don't remember a whole lot that night because I remember the music was fucking unbelievable. It was the same shit every week, but for some reason that night the music was just intense and the light show was fucking amazing, and all the girls were hot. So the next time I went over to my buddy's house, you know, him and his dad and I and another guy, we smoked, and it just kind of became a thing where, you know, and we were still drinking and smoking weed at the same time. So of course, you know, you're getting absolutely hammered. And, you know, I never liked the nights when I drank and I smoked when I woke up, because I always had the worst hangover in the world. The nights that I just smoked, I never had a hangover. And I always felt better the next day. So I kind of went in between smoking weed and drinking a lot throughout my life, but the alcohol always seemed to be the go-to, just because it was more readily available, and it wasn't taboo back then. Right. Or it was taboo back then. I'm sorry, it was taboo. Oh my God, you're one of those dirty pot smokers. I'm like, shut up.
Not everybody's a dirty, smelly hippie, yo.
So, well, I am, but
that's besides the point. Not everybody.
So, I just found cannabis made me feel better. I enjoyed things more. I was a fun, loud, happy, tell jokes kind of drunk, but after a while that shit gets kind of old. Man. Where, you know, when I get really high, if I'm around a bunch of people, I actually kind of mellow out, or I tell a bunch of really dirty jokes. So I have to curb that, because I've come into contact with a few people that thought I was a little crass one night, and I apologize for my behavior. But anyway,
I always love that expression, crass. But no.
So I just, and then Mary, at the time it was cereal bars, because she was making cereal bars for me. Okay. She's like, you can either have cereal bars or you can drink. You can't do both. And I was like, well, I'll do the cereal bars. Well, the cereal bars started getting less made, so I was fine.
Oh, I remember the cereal bars. Yes. Yeah. So edibles. We're talking edible cereal bar.
So then
those were delicious.
I started buying gummies and stuff just because, and so far we haven't had. We've had a few discussions. She's like, you know, I just want to make sure you're not abusing it. I'm like, absolutely not. You know, I'm using it for the reason I told you I'm using it for. I'm using it for relaxation. I'm using it to, you know, to stimulate my body so I stay, you know, this happy-go-lucky person that you see. Because if I do everything the same way every day, I go crazy. So I gotta have a little bit of chaos in my life every day, because obviously that's just the way I am with the entertainment world. But after that is done, I have a hard time coming down. Right. Because I give so much at these shows, even trivia. You know, I sit during trivia, but I still try to be as interactive and entertaining as I can. But you
get that adrenaline from doing the show.
Then I drive home and I think about the show, and I got the music blaring. So all this not aggression, but this angst is inside of me, because I just had a great show. I hear all this great music. I got so much going on. Okay, my next show is coming up tomorrow. I got to remember to do this, do that, do this. Get home, and I'm like, okay, well, I got to get ready for the show. I got to make sure and by the time that's all done, man, I'm just frazzled. And it's like, okay, I'm going to my room for my hour, because she pretty much gives me an hour now. I'm just like, I need an hour. I go in my room. I do my thing. I come out of there. I'm chill. Yeah. And now during the day, I've learned to not be as go all day, because now that I work nights, I have to pace myself on doing, you know, like, because I'll get up in the morning and I'll literally have the dishes done, bed made, laundry started, fucking this, that, put away. And then I'll look and be like, okay, it's 10 o'clock. Now what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So now I'm learning to pace myself. I've picked up a couple of new projects. I'm ripping all of my CDs to my hard drive, so I'll have copies of them, so that way I can downsize, because I'm at about 1,400 CDs right now. I got a little too many. I got a couple. I got a little CD happy purchasing here over the last several months, but that's okay. You know, I have an addiction to music, and it's not a bad thing to be addicted to.
No.
You know,
very expensive addiction, but worth it.
Luckily, I've been able to I found a nice, and I'm going to give them a plug. Orange Records in Fargo has a great used selection.
Okay.
Really great, and prices are very, very reasonable. I mean, I walked out of there the one day with, 25 CDs, and it cost me less than $80.
No, not bad.
So, and I picked up some really good stuff. I picked up some Volbeat and some other really great newer artists that I didn't have. So yeah, I added a lot to my jukebox, and the Zen Den is definitely full. So
yeah.
But once again, if it wasn't for cannabis, I'd be divorced, because I'm an addict. You know, I'm the first to admit I'm an addict. I have an alcohol problem. I can't be a social drinker. I drink to get fucked up.
Right.
And where I don't smoke weed to get fucked up, I smoke weed or THC, whatever. I smoke it for the medicinal side of things to help me meditate.
Yeah, no, help bring you down, focus. You know, it sounds like it's benefiting you tremendously mentally.
100%.
I had to slow 100%. That down. It was almost a tongue twister.
Yeah, no, it definitely slows me down mentally.
Quality of life sounds better. How would you just your quality of life? Like how would you explain, when you were drinking versus the not drinking and just using the cannabis for the medical purposes?
100% easy. My relationship with my wife is 100% better. My relationship with my grandkids and my kids is night and day. Mm-hmm. I used to be, kids annoyed me. Any kids, even my own kids, they annoyed the shit out of me. So when they'd come over and they'd just be acting a fool, I was the yelling grandpa. You stop fucking doing that. Jesus Christ, you're going to break something. Mm-hmm. Well, since I got into the more mellow mood, now my grandkids, I look forward to seeing them and having them over, other than they like to plug my toilets in the basement. I still love you. But we had 3 grandkids over one weekend, and it was chaos the whole fucking weekend. It was mad chaos. But it was family chaos, and it was good because they were here. They knew that in Grandpa's house they can act a fool because it's in Grandpa's house. Because Grandpa's a fool. I like to act a fool. Mm-hmm. As long as it doesn't get out of hand. And none of them did anything other than clogging my toilet. They didn't do anything that was so out of hand that was like, no, you're not coming back. Okay. Other than there were 7 people in this little ass house for 3 days.
Oh, I can see all that. Yeah.
It kind of, when they take over your living room, I kind of have a routine. I like to sit and watch TV for like an hour before I go downstairs or after, just to watch YouTube stuff and then go to bed. But when they're all laying on your couches and sleeping on chairs and cots and shit in your living room, you kind of get thrown off your little pedestal, your wheel you're on. So you get a little you're like, wait, my routine is fucked up.
Yeah.
So, but it's still better to make memories with them and give up my routine for a couple of days. Just like, this last weekend, my son Thomas was here with his wife. We'll just call him her wife. They were here through Monday, and it was great. It was time for them to go Monday, for sure. Not that I didn't want them here, but it was like, okay, weekends are fine, but Mondays, see, now you're on my routine, and you know, I go to the dump on Monday. I go do this on Monday. I go do the. If you're gonna hang out with me, you're going to the dump and you're doing that, and they're like, yeah, that's fine. Okay, just letting you know, this is can't mess my routine up, because that's how I have to keep centered. Is I have to make sure that routine that I do specifically on that day gets done. Because if I have to wait till tomorrow or today to take the garbage to the dump, it would have fucking thrown everything off. So anyway, but I've been able to focus more and get my routines down, because I'm able to maintain that sobriety, for one. That's the big thing. Because if I was drinking, I'd sleep till noon, you know, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because, you know, I'm going to be at a show, and, you know, I'm going to have a couple cocktails because somebody buys me a drink because they love what I'm doing. And next thing you know, you're hammered and driving home. And
I think I may have been guilty of that maybe once or twice back in the day.
Back in the day, everybody's,
yeah,
you know, but, you know, and that's the other thing too, is, you know, I don't perform, you know, high. I've been offered.
Yeah, no, I know that's all you, man.
I've been offered a couple of times, and you know, one time I did hit a vape pen at a show, and you know, it was a decent pen. I felt pretty good, but didn't go like, oh my god, I'm gonna get high at every show now because it felt so good. No. I'm a professional that does a specific job that has to be pretty precise, or I won't be working anymore. Yeah. So
yep, it'll be off.
But yeah, so my quality of life is way better, other than I eat a lot more, just because, you know, the shit gives me the munchies. So, but you know, check my blood pressure all the time. My blood pressure is still within the normal range of somebody who's 20 pounds overweight, but
right,
you know, I'm sitting at like 140 over 86 or some shit. It's not real high.
Nice.
Not high enough to be on blood pressure meds or anything yet. So it helps, you know, obviously keeps my heart rate down, so my blood pressure is not going to be through the roof. That helps. So it's helping my my physical health as well as my mental health.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying is, you know, that's good. That's good. Because, well, I totally just blanked out. I got a good ripper there.
Yeah, I can see you got a good ripper there.
But no. So how long? Let's just say I had a question loaded there, but it spaced on me. But so no, how long ago was that shift for you then? I don't know if you said that or not.
What?
About how long ago was that, like?
So yeah, that was 2018. Was 2017 is when my son Michael, I'll even give him a shout out. Him and his wife started a Delta 8 company, and so they introduced. They were kind of the ones that introduced me back into it, because I can't smoke flower around her. I actually don't smoke flower at all because she doesn't like the smell of it.
Sure.
So I told her, I said, that's fine. I'll never smoke flower. I won't smoke a joint, nothing. I won't any of that stuff. I said, you know, the only thing I'll do is the vape pens and cereal bars and gummies and stuff. She's like, okay. She still doesn't really like it, but she understands that she's got a husband that's different than he was.
A little more present.
Yeah.
Would be the way you put it.
And so when they gave me a cereal bar to try, well, they gave me a 600 milligram cereal bar. So
he knew what he was doing.
I was tore up from the neck up.
Yeah.
I was done. But I loved the feeling. So Mary had... how did it work out? Somehow Mary had... they were going to buy a kilo of the Delta 8 dabs.
Oh, right.
But they were running a little short on money, so they asked if we would buy some of it at cost to help them pay for it. And I was like, yeah, that's, mom said, sure, that's fine, you know, because then she could make me my own cereal bars instead of me waiting for them to give me some. So right. We ended up buying like, I think 200 grams of the 8. So she just kept making cereal bars. Well, then friends would be like, these are really good, you make me a pan. So she started making pans for friends, and next I think we're down to finally like maybe 10 grams of that Delta 8 left for that we bought from them.
Oh, you still got some? Dang.
Yeah, it's in the freezer. It's good to go. I bought some Rice Krispie, or no, some Fruity Pebbles with marshmallows for her to make me some cereal bars, but I think the bag is almost fucking empty because I keep eating a bowl of cereal, and she never gets around to making my cereal bars for me. But so they introduced me back into it, and that just kind of continued. I quit drinking just before that, so it was kind of my new thing, and I enjoyed how much better I felt doing that stuff than the way alcohol made me feel. So, because it was actually the last time I really drank was on my birthday in 2018. I had just mowed the lawn and did something else, and I was thirsty, and I hadn't eaten that day, and I drank like a 6-pack of Mike's hard something. Well, of course, it went down like fucking Kool-Aid because I was thirsty. So I was already hammered by like 5. Well, then my kids came down for my birthday fire pit and brought over Jack Daniels and cherry bombs.
Oh.
So I'm sitting around a campfire passing a bottle of Jack Daniels and eating cherry bombs with my 2 sons.
Yeah.
And needless to say, I passed out with my feet on the floor and my butt on the bed. Mama said, that's never happening again. I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And that was really the last time. I think I had a couple of beers after that, just because I was thinking I needed to have just a beer and then it finally got to the point where I had some fucking IPA or something at a brewery that I was doing music bingo at, and I went, this tastes like fucking shit.
Right.
And so I think the taste finally got to me, as I think everything was just getting too strong for one. I don't want to drink one beer and be fucking hammered. Some of these beers were 9 and 10% alcohol, and it's like, that's just too much.
Yeah.
But the flavors just, I liked beer. I liked, Miller. Okay. I liked Busch. I didn't like grapefruit flavored beer, and strawberry kiwi lemonade beer. That's not beer.
The Zimas weren't for you.
No, I never did a Zima. I take that back. I got drunk on Zima one night. They were having a Zima party at Fitger's Brewing in Duluth when I worked down there. So me and the guys went to the bar afterwards, and they had the girls handing out Zimas for $1 or whatever it was. And well, if you drink like 13 or 14 of those, the hangover the next day is worse than drinking 10 bottles of wine. Mm. It's just poison, and that's why I don't condone drinking, because if people can do it the right way and have fun, because my show kind of depends on you drinking.
Right.
So I don't condone anybody that can go out and have a good time and be able to function the next day. It's the people that can't control themselves are the ones that we need to help, because they're powerless to alcohol. And my family is completely 100% that way. My family is, most of my family is recovered now, but there were years where, I would get, drunk dials from family members at 3 a.m, and it's just like, you gotta go to treatment, but if they were high, they wouldn't have called, they would have been sleeping.
Right. You see, and that's where you hit the nail on the head there, actually, because that's something I would really like to see, is more in those recovery programs like that for people. For one, whether whether you're there on your own will, or you got there's a reason that you got to be there, court order, you got to go to treatment. This is where I believe, where if we could start implementing a cannabis, not necessarily even like smoking it, you know what I mean, because there's more ways these days.
The cannabinoid,
yeah,
gels.
Yeah, something, you know what I mean, but that would be a great way, rather than and not even for alcohol. I'm not speaking just for alcohol here. I'm kind of gonna broad stroke this, but it could be used as a better medicine, aid, crutch than methadone, Suboxone, the two, which essentially the man-made heroin, synthetic heroin is all it is, government heroin. And so I think that if we could get past that whole pharmaceutical battle that has its death hold on this country,
it does.
And we actually get down to being able to implement things like cannabis, and I mean, it's not like I'm not trying to say it's the cure-all. It's going to be the magic thing that works, but implemented properly, you know what I mean? It can help, because, dude, say it's a heroin addict or a coke addict, somebody that's into a bad meth even, your body is going to fit. You're detoxing for a while, and then mentally even longer.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's where I'm saying where this definitely can be a huge help for these people seeking help. And I'll even say this, I also believe that in that scenario, nobody is really going to change or change their ways or really get truly sober up or clean up unless they want to. You know what I mean? That's
100% absolutely true. You can't help people who don't want to be helped.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go. That's a great way to put it. Thanks. But once you're there, you know what I mean? But maybe it would make it easier for people that are forced to go there to be like, maybe this isn't such a bad idea. I like, because if they get the point, say you're allowed to have a couple edibles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just one, say twice a day or something, you know what I mean? Just to kind of help, just keep level. And maybe hold back the other addictions for some people to where they might need that crutch, because the end goal here is health. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's 100%.
Because you've been killing yourself for years with these chemicals or whatever. Well, essentially it's all chemicals, whether it's alcohol or drugs or whatever. You've been doing that much damage. Let's take this to where we know like these days that it doesn't do the damage that we've been told for years from the propaganda machine. And I think we're starting to come around. Like even Trump right now, supposedly is going to.
Trump said that he's going to basically decriminalize marijuana. It's on the docket for him to just do an executive order, because he can technically do an executive order and decriminalize. He does not have to go through Congress, which would piss off a lot of Republicans.
It would. But if he listens to RFK,
which RFK I believe has been in his ear about this, where the cannabis industry would get such a boost, but also the economy would get a boost.
It would help end the opioid epidemic.
100%. So I think if he wants to leave his legacy, which he already has done a dozen times with several other things, and I'm not pro-Trump and I'm not anti-Trump. I'm an American.
Just speaking facts.
Just speaking facts. But I mean, he's already done enough stuff, and I mean, if he comes to end this war in Ukraine and Russia and decriminalize marijuana and let out all of the non-offender non-criminals that are in jail because of cannabis, you're going to see that they'll put him on some people will put him on a pedestal.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sure wouldn't hurt my feelings at all.
No.
If all of those things,
you know, and I
sounds like a success to me.
He has said a lot of things in his days up to becoming president that have not come true yet. But I'm okay because he's still, you know, what is he? He's less than a year in, and he's still got 3 more years.
Yeah,
like drill, baby, drill. I want $1.61 gas again, motherfucker.
I have noticed gas has been going down
a little bit. It's still at $2.99, $2.89 some places, but
okay, yeah,
it's $2.60
in that area.
$2.64 down in Pine River where it's always cheaper, but
still, it's starting to go down. I know
if he can decriminalize marijuana.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? I shouldn't be interviewing you, but
no.
I mean, I guess I want to know your thoughts
both ways here. We're going
on this because it would be a great thing.
Yeah, no, it would be a good thing. It would help. Yeah, like I said, it would really. One of the first things that we would notice is opioid deaths would go down.
Yeah,
immediately, because, and I think we've already seen that. And there's documented evidence of that in states that have legalized medicinally and or recreationally that opioid use has gone down. I mean, yes, we have the new issue of fentanyl that we're dealing with now, but it's all part of the opioid crisis. You know what I mean? And I mean, I keep saying that because it hits a little home because I actually do work to help prevent opioid misuse and, you know, recovery from that. So, you know, it's also is why I'm really, you know, I got into that because of just my experience of how cannabis, I've seen cannabis help people. It's helped me. It's helped people. I can't tell you how many veterans I know, like, that I'm pretty sure are still here because of cannabis. You know,
PTSD and the aches and pains and
I mean, I don't even want to try to imagine the fucking thoughts in a lot of vets' heads. I don't. It's unfortunate, but thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You know,
the other report I just saw on YouTube news was that the younger generations are actually steering away from alcohol.
Yes,
in rapid numbers compared to previous generations. My thought on that is, obviously, if you check those states, they're probably recreational states, or they are states that have medicinal, and they just know somebody that can get them the medicinal or it's Delta 8 in those places, you know, and...
Well, what I think it is more of a... It's... I don't necessarily like the word normalized, but it's been normalized. Like it's...
NORML, normal. Normal's been around for many years. Now it's finally normalized.
Okay. I wasn't going for that pun, but you pointed it out to me. No. But it's more accessible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's less the boogeyman.
Yeah.
Is I guess what I'm really trying to say. It's no longer that scary. The reefer madness is gone.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still some out there, Limmer. You know, with your 3-ounce joints, but
only a 3-ounce joint.
Shit, it's wild. Dude's a party animal.
But
no. Yeah, what was I saying?
No.
But no, it's less the boogeyman. So like, dude, like I know a lot of parents who would much rather have their 16, 17-year-old smoke a joint than be on ADHD medicine, or going out, driving out to somewhere into the middle of the woods to go to that kegger, like we used to do back when we were young and dumb.
Yeah.
And then be driving around drunk ass, So I mean, I'm just saying it's not that, and I always hear the arguments of like it's so much stronger these days. I mean, yes, that we're getting into the biology of
the strains are definitely stronger
of plants in general. It's not an anomaly in weed.
No,
that generationally you get. I mean, that's what breeding. Look at apples.
Yeah. No, it's 100%. Definitely the stigma of the days of you're a stupid pothead is gone.
Gone away.
I do know some stupid potheads.
Oh, definitely.
But the new generation of these kids, they're intelligent. They know their strains. They know what they're doing. They know how to use it for energy. They know
information's out there.
Yeah, it's not hidden anymore. It's not you got to meet in a parking lot at 2 a.m. to buy weed from somebody.
Right.
Because you can go to eventually here in Minnesota,
you can go to the store.
You can go to some stores around here and get the stuff, but eventually it'll be to the point where there'll be a green shop in every town.
Yep. Well, and then at that point, it's safe.
Yeah.
You can look and see if there was chemicals used, or it's an organically farmed flower, or the process. Like you can check the. Scan the little barcode.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And all this stuff these days. And you can see the percentages and the CBDs. And that's the thing about cannabis is it's not all about the THC. It's the CBDs. It's the the THCAs. It's the THCV. It's and a lot of it these days, like a lot of these carts, they have the combination of THC CBD, which is actually like the most medically beneficial. You get the best out of both. Like they counter. I'm no scientist, but they counteract each other, or the way they act with each other strengthens each other up, essentially.
Sure.
Layman's terms, because I'm a smart guy like that.
Yeah.
But I wonder why. No, but what was I saying?
Well, it helps strengthen.
Yeah. No, they help. So it's not about just it's not about the getting high, like you said. It's for you.
I mean, I enjoy the high.
Yeah. The side effects.
Yeah, the side effects suck. Yeah, the side effects are terrible. It makes me feel good, and I get a little buzz off of it.
Yeah,
that's a terrible thing. Yeah,
take a nap.
And so I've never been a pill guy. I've never really liked taking pills. I've definitely never been. I hate fucking needles, so I'd never be an IV drug user.
Yeah,
but pills, even when the doctors would give me, like, oh, I sprained my ankle. Here's some Oxy. It's like I take them, and I felt so bad taking them, and I think I actually felt worse taking them than the pain was in my ankle. So it ended up being, Motrins and shit like that, just because I just couldn't do it anymore.
Well, then they come down off of those pills, man.
Fucking terrible. So when I go in and they have to give me something for pain, I tell them I am a non-narcotic pain person. So give me whatever is a non-narcotic, non-opioid. And usually we get Flexerol, which helps. When you have pain, it helps.
Helps for you?
Yeah.
It didn't for me at all. Yeah. Well, but then again, I might have a little bit different situation.
Mine, and I actually every once in a while, if I don't smoke, I use those for sleep. because at night they make me sleep like a fucking infant.
Mhm.
But so but I don't take them every night, and I don't take them during the day because I want to get high. I take them for medicinal reasons. Maybe I do have a little bit of willpower where I'm not going, but I've never been a pill guy.
So would you say so? What do you think is your preferred way? Do you like the edible? Because I know you like edibles. I know you like the vapes.
So
what would you say is your preferred way and why?
I'm going to quote Joe Rogan here. So when you consume an edible, it's produced by your liver,
Mm-hmm.
which is 11 times more psychoactive than THC. Something called 11-hydroxy metabolite is how you process THC through your liver. Instead of smoking it, the THC, you get more of a full body relaxation, where like the carts give me either a head or a body high depending on
Right.
what strain it is or whatever, where when I take an edible, it's a complete body overload. It takes over my whole body, where I am absolutely comatose numb, but I can still move.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where if I laid in the same spot, I'd lay in the same spot for 10 minutes because it felt comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would finally go, oh, I should probably breathe. But so I like the carts because I can control how high I want to get with the carts.
Yep.
Where once you take an edible, the fucking roller coaster ride is coming.
Hold on.
Because you have no idea what, especially when they're homemade cereal bars, because it's not scientist. It's you're putting it on a homemade scale going, yeah, that looks like about a gram, and it's it looks like a big old ball of snot. You're like, oh, those edibles are gonna suck, and so you cut off a little chunk and you still get high as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Mary did that once in Florida for a party. We had a vinyl appreciation party, so I had all these people bring their own vinyl records over, and Mary's like, well, I'll make cereal bars. I'm like, yeah, that's great. So she cut them up in little chunks. My buddy down there had like 9 of them, and I had to drive his golf cart home because he woke up the next day and said, fuck, I feel great.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I slept through the night.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I didn't have to pee.
Yep.
He said, if I was drinking beer and I got that drunk, he said, I'd be hurting today. He said, I'd probably been up all night peeing. He said, so he ended up actually getting cereal bars every time he'd come down to the house. We ended up eating a cereal bar together because you live in Florida. What the fuck else are you going to do?
Yeah.
Live in a gated community. So yeah, I would have to say the vape is the way I like to go. Just because, like I said, I can control if I want just one hit to mellow me out, or if I want to take 6 or 7 puffs off of it to just get absolutely obliterated.
Depends how work went that day.
Yeah, it depends. Depends. Really, honestly, it does depend. If I had a nice mellow day and and shit like that, I don't need as many hits to relax. Where those days that I'm all wound up because I had a stressful day at work, and then I had to go do the DJ thing, and then I had to make sure the house was clean and blah 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 and all this shit before bed. Yeah, fuck, I'm hitting 5 or 6 times so I can get into just an absolute no man's land zone of Dune, the movie, where the fucking worms are coming out of the sand. But I also have the light show in there, so that helps too. Because when you close your eyes and the light show is going, then you're seeing colors, and then you're just like, okay, so the music and the colors are going together. Yep, I'm good. So anyway, that's me.
It is nice in the Zen den. That's for sure. I do enjoy the vinyl.
Yes,
it is. You can't get that everywhere.
Can't get that
anymore.
Sound.
You just can't.
No.
But no. I think that's sounds like about a good spot to stop.
Yeah, episode number 1.
Thank you for coming on.
No, thank you for having me on your first episode. And
have a little chat, a little back and forth,
a little real stuff to drink.
Yeah. Which kind of interesting, kind of here. Let's two hosts on a show at the same time. I don't know if that comes through or not, but it just makes it authentic, man.
Absolutely does.
But so thanks for coming on. Thanks for watching. Anybody, hit that like and subscribe. We will be seeing one more. I do want to plug one thing before I get out of here, and that is, let me pull it up so I don't get it wrong. Just 1 second here, but I want to say that I am sponsoring the Discs and Dogs event in Motley coming up here soon. Let me pull it up. I am one of the sponsors. Let me find where I put it so I don't mess it up for everybody. Super professional. Just a second here. Gotta find the flyer so I don't butcher the shit out of this, because if I try, I will. All right, so I am one of the sponsors for the Discs and Dogs event, the Green Growers Family Reunion, down at Uncle Bernie's Campground in Motley, Minnesota on September 12th, 13th, and 14th. Let's say there's going to be, you come down and camp, there's going to be disc golf going on, you can bring your dogs out, there's going to be live music going on, looks like there's going to be a tie-dye workshop going on, and so bring in, and to get to, make sure to bring some food donations for the local food shelf, and there will be door prizes and stuff like that. It's always a good time. Come out, hang out. Hopefully we see you there. I'll be out there doing some live from there and sharing it out and talking to some people and hopefully having some good conversations and good stories. So with that, we will see you next time. Peace out.